Hey everybody, it's Paul from the Techno Funk Boy. Today we're going to dive into another one of Tim Follin's just crazy epic tunes from the NES days. This one is from Silver Surfer, coming up right now. So ever since I did a video about the theme from Pictionary and was just absolutely floored by that song, I've become absolutely obsessed with listening to more of Tim Follin's work. I've been astonished by it. If you haven't watched the Pictionary video, by the way, it's one of I've stumbled upon a truth that so many of you clearly already knew, and that is the genius of Tim Follin, and I've gotten a lot of comments on that video. But if you haven't seen the video, please check it out here. That soundtrack absolutely blew me away. I've really just thoroughly enjoyed everything I've listened to his. We've done several now reaction videos to some of his soundtracks. And I've been very happy to listen to it. I've had several more suggested to me, and I want to do all of them. But one of the ones that was suggested to me, I can't do a formal reaction video to because I've heard it before. That is Silver Surfer. So what we're going to do today is tear apart the theme song to Silver Surfer and kind of look underneath the hood and figure out what makes that song tick and what makes that song so very cool in a game that is not nearly that good. Just real quick, you may have run across Silver Surfer either by playing it or through Angry Video Game Nerd video, which was a great episode, by the way. You might have heard it that before. If you have not listened to the theme song, you are frankly missing out. Actually, this is the whole soundtrack. We're going to focus on the theme song today, but this is the whole soundtrack. And so we're going to dive into that today. I actually promised this video to y'all last week, and I recorded the whole thing. And I had audio problems, and I'm sorry about that. I'm very sorry. It actually turned out to be pretty good. But I think I've got those fixed. I'm trying to figure out a way to actually, be able to get really better quality audio in these videos, and so I'm working hard at that, and I think each time we do it, it's going to be a little bit better. So let's jump into it. First of all, if you haven't heard this before, I want to play it. Hold on. So this actually it goes on for a little while. If you haven't heard the whole thing, just by all means go listen to the whole thing. But that's not what we're doing here. We are pulling this thing apart. All right, so let's start off with the rhythm. All right, first of all we're gonna cut. Just really quickly, NES sound chip has 5 channels. The 5th one is the sample channel, and it is not used in this song. So we're only dealing with the regular 4. We have 2 square waves, that's 1 and 2. We have a triangle wave, and then we have a noise channel. We're going to start with the noise channel. And this is just like bursts of static, but if you use the pitch and the intensity properly, you can actually get some like rhythmic elements, some percussive elements to it. And that is what so many people do, and that's what we're going to do here. So hold on. All right. First of all, at the very beginning, you hear kind of what it can do is that kind of warping effect. So we use this track for a lot of the like, essentially, kind of trying to replicate the hi-hat. A lot of times is that what we'll do. And that's kind of what we're doing here. Now, to figure out what's going on with the rest of the percussion, we got to turn on the triangle wave. We'll start at the beginning again. That's just smooth. All right, starting over here. Listen to this. Actually, I'm gonna turn out the noise. This is just triangle wave. And what we do on this track a lot of times is to get the drum feel to it. Is the to kind of emulate the bass drum or a tom. You'll really just pop that note hard. Huge attack sound, pulling off of it right away, and that gives you more of a percussive popping sound. And so that's what we're at the very, very beginning. Here again. All right, and he's using higher sounds to kind of emulate more of like a tom or a snare. But then he adds a bass line. Now these tracks, you can only do one sound at a time, and so for the bass, you start off a sound like up here, and the bass is going to have a longer sound, but then you drop out of it down more into the bass with just a pop, and then immediately jumping back up, and then you can bend that pop a little bit at the end to simulate like a tom or something like that. But that's how you get like these longer sounds with this just drop and poof, 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 is that the bass is actually dropping out. You can hear even in the bass here is the huge pop, the huge attack that it has. It's just adding to that rhythmic nature of this song. So we're gonna start over at the beginning. And here's what we have with the drums now. You see when like the bass tone comes in, it's even adding to that pop. That's so cool. This by itself is just a killer rhythm. And this by itself is just such a cool driving beat that there's a lot going on here that I really, really like. But all right, this is the two square wave channels. It's back to the beginning. Okay, just that opening. All right, we got to cut out for just a minute because Follin is doing something cool here. And by the way, I should mention, this is I completely forgot to actually address what this game actually is. Bing. This was a 1990 NES game. Follin actually wrote it with his brother Geoff, and they work together fairly often and produce some just great stuff. I'm using the word Follin kind of in a plural sense of the two of them, but this is the kind of stuff that is very, very characteristic of Tim's work in particular, and so we'll keep referring to it that way. I'm sorry about that. I normally like to go in like an intro, but I forgot. I've already done this video once, and I forgot that I didn't actually do it, and I was so excited about this song. He's using this descending chord, bending these notes downward, and popping it at particular intervals to first of all add to the kind of the rhythmic nature of it and provide this like cool overlay, but also helping that rhythm along. nearly every track in this, every track in this song contributes to the rhythm of the song itself, which I love. Now the two descending lines are doing a harmony here, and as they're dropping, but then one of them drops farther down on the way up. And I hear this a lot with the old NES composers, and it's a trick that they use because they only have these 3 channels that are actually providing a tone. Channel 4 is providing the noise, unless they're putting a sample in. This is what they got. And so a lot of times they'll start a pattern with like a harmony or a rhythm part, that usually like that second square wave. And then as you're expecting the rhythm or the harmony to continue, they'll actually drop it out into a different area. And because you're expecting the continuation of the rhythm or the harmony, you don't actually notice that it's gone, and it feels like more is being added to the song. So let's like listen to one of these, because that's just the first one. All right, this is the one that drops. Okay, we'll jump to the second one. This is the one that stays up higher. We'll do both of them. All right, here's where it drops. Okay? And you don't even really notice that second track dropped out to do something different. Really well done. That's actually done again. Let's drop off one, and you hear that rhythm in there? That popping at the beginning? Okay, so that's going to continue the riff. It's going to drop off later to do something else, but it's actually it dropped off right there, but it's mimicking the triangle wave there. All right, so let's jump back and do the second track. Apologies, there's no way in this program for me to fast forward to that particular section, so we're just going to do All right, so now this is the part where all 3 of them are doing the same thing. It drops to add to the force because your brain is expecting it all to link up. Then it does something completely different, and it feels like you're listening to a lot more. So let's jump back to the beginning, and we're going to listen to all 3 of these tracks. You're going to notice that the triangle wave is going to continue the riff. All 3 are on the riff right now. All right, now one of those squares just dropped. Now one of the squares is going to drop off. You probably didn't even notice. All right, and I think it's here where the other square drops off. Yeah. So now you actually only have the triangle wave keeping up the riff, but it really feels like, in the grand scheme of things, we'll do all the tracks, and I'll just let you listen, and I'll kind of point out where things are dropping out. So here's to start. All of them on the riff. Drop there. Here. Now, if you listen closely, you can hear that the triangle is the only one doing that riff. So this is a square wave that's just... It's crazy. It's insane. This is great. He's going through the settings now. Let's listen to all this. This is great. I mean, and there's a lot more we can listen to there, but that kind of gives you an idea. you could hear kind of toward the end of what we listened to on that one track that he was playing with the settings and switching them around. That gives that particular square wave a different tone to it, a different kind of attack. And he does these kind of delay effects where he starts the scale down, but then he immediately restarts, and it feels like there's a delay on this track where it's doing this like echo effect. This is really, really cool stuff, and it's stuff that not a lot of people were doing in these early days of video game music. The guy's just absolutely legend. The Follin brothers together are just absolute legends, and it's just some really, really sweet stuff that you're not expecting. And I think that's kind of the thing that stands out the most about this soundtrack. And the thing that's so exciting about it, and so sad that it's on a pretty mediocre at best game, is that you as the player are not expecting these things. You know, we can appreciate good video game music. We can appreciate good old chiptune stuff. You know, and it's good for the musicianship of the composers putting together good melody. But I don't know of any other composers that were really becoming this great at using the technology itself to drive the excitement of the game. And this whole soundtrack is just exciting. All of it is just exciting, and it gets the blood moving, and that's what you want out of an action game like this. And I just you know, it's so cool, like listening to Follin stuff, especially for the first time, like in that Pictionary video, where just, you know, not at all expecting what you're about to hear. The first time I listened to the Silver Surfer theme song on that title screen, it's surprising in a very exciting way. It builds up the anticipation of what's coming. It's really feeling like, even though you're still on the NES, it's feeling like you are engaged in something next generation. Like there's been an upgrade. There's been an upgrade in your system, and I love listening to this stuff. We're going to continue this either in this format or as reaction videos to Follin stuff, because I really do. I highly respect what he was doing, and the mastery over these sound chips that he obviously had. That he was working on a level that no one else really was. So really appreciate y'all hanging out with me. We kind of do two things on this channel. One is video game music, and the other is Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And my goal was to start doing 2 videos a week. And the first video every week was supposed to be Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And my schedule just was not allowing that. And so it's been a little while since I got to here, but I'm trying to set up more of a schedule to do this more, because I really, really do love this. If you are not subscribed, please do hit the subscription button down there. Hit the little bell icon that's going to notify you of any upcoming video, and let me know. I've got a list of Follin soundtracks to listen to. Let me know your favorite. Throw it down there. Check my channel, because I've done a few of them already, and so you know, there might be several in there that that you'd be interested in watching. But let me know about your favorite soundtracks, anything that you want me to cover, to react to, or to tear apart like this. I love doing this stuff, and so I'd really like to do that. Otherwise, really do appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you next time.